Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast.
Welcome to an oral review of Archie Comics Sonic the Hedgehog, where we're taking a moment to appreciate art and these awesome visuals from the Archie Sonic comics.
Now, actually, in the comics world, instead of art, they say inks.
Right. We're thankful for art.
I am too, but they call it inks.
But it's art.
And they say inks.
I'm pretty sure the staff would say art.
And I'm telling you, the preferred name is inks.
Art Mawinnie.
I don't care what art you're winning, Nick. Suck my dick, they call it inks.
What? That's gross, man.
No, that's coloring. That's a completely different thing, completely different guy.
Who said anything about coloring? I said that was gross, man.
Quit saying the inks was done by Grossman. Inks is done by art.
Holy shit, thank you. You didn't have to go and be a dick about it.
What does the editor have to do with anything about inks and colors?
What?
What?
Inks and colors?
Inks, art. Colors, Grossman. Editor, Dick.
Stop bringing up dicks, dude.
You're the one that mentioned Dick.
No, you mentioned dick first.
Yeah, when I was talking about throating cock, who were you talking about?
Jesus.
Who's Jesus?
Jesus, you know, like Jesus?
Does Jesus do the lettering or something?
Don't play dumb with me. Don't think with all this bullshit I'm going to let you go scot-free.
That's the editor.
I thought you said it was Dick?
It's Dick, but it's also Scott. But you said I was Scott.
You're Scott? Full up? Shit.
No, you're Scott full of shit, pal. You can't even respect the terms of the art. And don't think I'm going to let it go either. Not until I find out what part of the comic Jesus does.
I don't even know if there is a Jesus, or at this point, God.
Talk to your local priest about that, Nick, because we really ought to get to the episode.
Oh, we're going to need religion to get through this episode, which is still pending.
Penders.
What?
Ken Penders. Penders is Middle Dutch for Piander, which means brewer. About 1150 CE.
Okay, whatever, boomer.
Actually, his name is Rotor now.
What the fuck are we reading today?
Guerrilla Warfare, or the Apes of Wrath, Part 1.
Featuring inks by art?
This one was done by Dave Manock.
Go fuck yourself.
Did you enjoy that?
I adored that so much.
I listened to the original.
Who's on first? Yeah, just over and over.
And I'm like, this is incredible. And then I was reading the comic, and I'm like, art. Holy shit, can I do this? And then I spent like an hour reading the script.
I adore you. That was so fucking good.
I wanna do that again, like a full scripted thing where we practice it.
Sure.
It becomes a routine.
Where we're like actually going up at like cons and just doing who's on first, but with Sonic editors.
I've read that Abbott and Costello. That would be such a unique bit, and it's so niche. It's so fucking
like
niche.
Only 4 people would laugh.
Yes, and that's for the 4 people we do it for.
Well, half of them are laughing because they're the ones doing the bit, so it's only for 2 people.
Exactly. That's really good. Apparently, Abbott and Costello were so good at doing that bit that they could like extend it on the fly by just making up new shit.
Oh hell yeah!
But still maintaining the whole flow of it. And yeah, that's just...
I still stand by the fact that considering that bit was made in like, what, 1920? And I still think it's hilarious that, man, if I was in the 1920s, I probably would have died from laughter.
Yeah. Okay, so... Nick writes the script, and I don't read it.
Right.
I ejected that part. But if you're listening for the first time, Nick writes the script, and I don't pre-read it. Usually, I pre-read the comic, but I don't even think we're doing that. We'll see. We're gonna experiment. Nick specifically told me to not read the comic. So
did I say that?
Yes.
Okay, I believe you.
That's what you told me in the text.
No, I said email.
Oh my God. Okay, let's go.
Well, now I have to go back and check. I mean, my phone's recording, so I can't, but...
Sonic number 17, release date October of 1994, publication date December of 1994. Guerrilla Warfare, or The Apes of Wrath, Part 1. Simian script by Mike Kanternovich and Ken Penders. Primate penciling, Dave Manock, which is a joke that they do in the comic.
Yeah, I'm not busting out these jokes. I wouldn't do you like that.
No.
Listener / viewers.
Chimpanzee coloring by Barry Grossman and monkey editor Scott Fulop. You're Scott full of shit, pal. I was so proud of that one.
I'm very proud of you. I can't stress that enough. That was great.
We open on Robotnik being carried on a litter, a chair mounted on 2 carrying poles, by his robotic slaves known as SWATbots. Robotnik and Snively are dressed in safari garb, presumably hunting for some big game. It is revealed that Robotnik and his underlings are on an island called Skull Island, and that they are looking for something that can take on Sonic the Hedgehog. Just then, Robotnik and team stumble upon a giant footprint. Snively and Crabmeat ponder on what kind of monster would leave that kind of footprint. That's no... Wait, hold on. Is this
it's all Robotnik.
Okay. And again, I'm going to experiment with Robotnik voices for my health.
There's a lot of Robotnik in
exactly.
this, so...
There's no monster, gentlemen. That's my boy.
It was specifically that line where I was like, okay, I gotta get you to read a lot of this.
Many years ago, before you bots had even been built, I was a bold, ambitious graduate student, grappling with the challenges of the unknown. A handsome lad, brilliant too, as my doctoral thesis would prove beyond any doubt. We cut to Robotnik, looking slightly younger, in classic mad scientist garb and a pencil mustache, admiring his work that is laying on the table in front of him. The table is 80 feet long and has a golden machine laying on the table, covered under a sheet. Its golden arm laying out from the sheet. Its golden hand is as big as Robotnik. The only thing missing from this machine? The spark of life. But sparks that big are hard to come by. Then I was struck by a burst of inspiration. We see Robotnik with a pulley system, raising the machine to the heavens. And thanks to a convenient electrical storm that was passing through on its way to Hill Valley, I got my wish. The machine rises off camera, and then we cut to a giant hole in the wall of Robotnik's shop. Whatever Robotnik has built has escaped. Robotnik searched far and wide over the island, but he could only find traces of this creation. Robotnik left, leaving behind what could be argued as his greatest invention. We cut to modern day. Snively, Crabmeat, and Robotnik are all walking along when they hear a gong, gong, gong. Robotnik turns around and he sees his long-lost firstborn robotic son, King Gong. A gold metallic ape-like robot stands in front of Robotnik and crew. The gold ape has a simple design, gold, but with a quartz watch embedded in the robot's chest. Snively and Crabmeat tremble in fear, afraid of being eaten by the massive ape robot. Robotnik, thinking ahead, has come with a plan. After all, it looks like and thinks like an ape. He can't help but go bananas for bananas. The metallic apes start munching on the banana. Save room for dessert, my boy. There's a certain hedgehog I'd like you to devour. End of part 1.
What are your thoughts, just right off the bat?
I dig his youthful look.
I do too. I think it's fun. It's
his Clark Gable like pencil mustache.
Yeah. I couldn't
it's very
put
cute.
a good. Yeah, Clark Gable is a great way to describe it. This is a nitpick, but I really get annoyed when they when fantasy things like this throw in like pop cultural references, like the electrical storm that was passing through on its way to Hill Valley.
Yeah, that was a very forced pun. Which is a Back to the Future reference.
Yeah.
Hill Valley is the name of the town. One of my favorite names for a town because it's a complete contradiction.
Oh, sure. I've never put that together.
Yeah,
it totally is.
Hill Valley.
That is so funny.
That's literally impossible.
Well, I guess it could be a lot of bumps in the valley.
Yeah, I guess.
That's funny. I've never thought about that. So now what you've done is establish that there's a Hill Valley in this universe, and I just think that's dumb.
Yeah, we can we're not going to take that as Bible because
I already did.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah, Back to the Future happens in this universe.
But we've done that before, where we've dismissed visual puns and very quick puns like that, or not even puns, but quick gags.
This is the universe that Biff won. Where he was in charge of that
Donald
casino.
Trump, yeah.
Robotnik is Biff's great grandson.
Gotcha. I do appreciate also the inclusion. They're starting to include more random animals as regular citizens.
Huge. Huge
Love
for
it.
me, at least.
Love it. I mentioned last episode that, and the episode before, that intro for Sonic X, well, that pilot for Sonic X, which actually they took scenes from that pilot from the TV show Sonic X from that pilot for the intro for the theme song, and people were like, when does Sonic ride a rocket in the show? Because it literally every episode that's the intro, but he never does it. But it's from the pilot. You have to look that up on YouTube.
I will.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't tell you to do it beforehand.
I like the Frankenstein. They're just doing like classic movies, right? They're doing King Kong. They're doing Frankenstein.
That is also a pop culture reference because, it's a classic story.
Yeah. There's a difference between taking inspiration from a story and then just using the name of a town.
You don't think they're doing it too much? You like King Kong?
No, I kind of hate this. But I mean, it's like what I expect. Yeah. So it's fine. I'm not super impressed with this one. What I will say, who's doing the art?
I think it's I did it in the
or I guess it'd be penciling, Dave Manock.
Yes.
Dave Manock is having a field day with crab meat on this one. He's never been so expressive.
Yes,
and
he is.
He's so funny to look at in every single panel. Just like he is the like jaw like completely open, eyes completely wide.
We should put him in the thumbnail.
Yeah, right. Every single image.
The side eye. Oh my god.
He's like over it. He like this was my development. It feels like he's very over Robotnik.
He's just like, because it's like he's died before.
Yeah, and we don't understand how consciousness works in this universe. I don't know if
it immediately
crab
uploads,
meat is just a sentient program where like all crab meats are connected.
Yeah, I think the SWAT bots are a hive mind.
I accept that
because they talk to each other, so there has to be multiple instances of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there are physically, but also like not mentally, but in programming wise, I think it's a hive mind that just constantly creates strings and then just creates new ones when that gets destroyed.
Okay, I accept that. I think it's a cool theory.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I was more confused by with this issue is that this ape, eats like organic food.
Yeah, that's a little weird. And and supposedly he's going to eat the freedom fighters as well.
Or at least Sonic.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's weird.
It is weird. It could just be a programming thing. It doesn't need it. The robot doesn't need the organic, material. It just likes eating it.
Well, and so I guess there is specifically the line: if he looks and thinks like an ape, maybe he thinks he needs to eat. Right?
You're right. That's a very good point. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I am too, but I think that's a cop out.
It is. See, it seems kind of a lame. The design of King Kong is kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Not weird, but like
I don't get what's up with the clock. Is that like a reference to the old King Kong movie that I don't remember? Like no, I know he's got the belt, doesn't he?
What does it say on it?
Quartz timing.
Is that a watch? I bet that's a watch company.
No, Quartz. If I remember correctly, Quartz helps make it so it's like incredibly accurate.
Oh, okay.
But I don't understand the science behind watches.
Right.
So I don't understand why having that specific type of stone would make it so it's incredibly accurate.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a top tier watch, and that's what they're saying with this golden ape.
I wonder if it's kind of like he's like wound up, right? Like he's got a giant like twisty thing behind him, and he needs to be wound like a clock in order to operate.
That's not what they meant, but I like it.
I think it's really cool.
I think that's a really cool. This is the 90s generation's Golden Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy. You don't know Five Nights at Freddy?
I know of Five Nights at Freddy.
Okay.
I know the core premise is people are like locked in at Chuck E. Cheese overnight.
Yes.
And they somehow made like 5,000 of them, and there's a lot of deep lore.
Yes, it's incredibly deep lore. I've only gone surface level a little bit. I like the meme of it. Mm-hmm. Just how like the fact that it's such a deep lore that in itself is a joke, and I like that. I think it's funny. But for the purposes of the gameplay, it serves nothing.
What is even, is it like point and click, or what's the gameplay like?
The gameplay is, well, the core like 5 games and not the other ones. You're just at a console because it's all I think Flash animation. Or no, not Flash animation. It's like pre-recorded movie.
Wait, are you like maybe I have seen a clip of this. Are you like you're at a security console yes. and you're like just looking reacting. At everything through video?
You're just reacting. You have limited supply for your power.
What a clever way to make a like. I'm not going to say cheap because that makes it sound
cost effective.
Yeah, like a good way. Like, was this just one dude who made it?
Yes, it is a textbook indie game. Yeah.
I love that. That is so. I should maybe check out the first one. That sounds very smart. I like that a lot.
I think the first one is definitely worth to play. Mm-hmm. It is a seminal moment in gaming culture, but also just in game design. It's like this is incredibly. That's very clever. Incredibly cool. How it's like the roller coaster. Like Chris Sawyer. He's the British developer behind Roller Coaster Tycoon, and apparently he made that game out of a very specific.
It's
programming language. I don't know about programming, but every time someone mentions like, yeah, I know programming, that's insane that he did that. And because he did it in that specific way, using that code, that language, I should say, it's like one of the smoothest running games because he just coded it perfectly, effectively. Assembly. Yeah, that's insane. I don't have a context for that, but apparently that's insanely like impressive that he did that.
Yeah.
Anyway, part 2, Guerrilla Warfare or the Apes of Wrath. This is not the first time they've done multiple titles for...
I wish I was in the writing room when this was happening because this feels like... there was a divide.
Yeah.
And half of the people were like, clearly it's guerrilla warfare. And the other half of it were like Apes of Wrath. I'm an Apes of Wrath boy. No way guerrilla warfare is like, it's so on the nose. Apes of Wrath. I mean, you got a giant ape who's angry. He's got the rat.
You got a Steinbeck reference?
Yeah.
I think that's Steinbeck, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a lot better than guerrilla warfare. Just sounds lazy. That sounds like the suits. The suits were like, you can't call it Apes of Wrath.
There's suits, and there are suits, but like that they're exerting that much pressure on it.
Well, honestly, I like to think you can do whatever you want, except for with this one title. The kids won't get Apes of Wrath. They're kids.
Like the CEO, whoever's in charge, is like...
What are the kids like? Rambo, guerrilla warfare, done.
They normally don't care. It's like this fucking Sonic the Hedgehog thing, whatever. And then, but like the one time he like glances at the report or whatever, he's like, "Girl, that's stupid. Yeah, just don't do that, Ken." Okay, cool. And then just like he just does not care. All right, they're not like beheading Jesus in this. Okay, I don't give a shit.
All right.
Sally and Sonic are preparing for a picnic. Sonic runs and grabs the essential food needed for this endeavor: pickles, chili dogs, ice cream, chili dogs, peanut butter, chili dogs, and bananas. Sonic expresses fear that Robotnik might try and crash their picnic. Sally, however, is not afraid one bit. Robotnik has apparently been missing for weeks. We cut to Robotnik, feeding his giant golden monkey some more bananas. Crabmeat cowers in fear of the almighty golden ape. The rate at which this mechanical monkey is eating, they will finish the bananas in no time. Which leads Robotnik to finally give the command he's been waiting for since arriving back with his first creation. He holds a picture of Sonic the Hedgehog up to the golden ape. "Go, my boy! Sick 'em! Make Daddy proud!" Daddy is always, unless it's like a genuine little girl talking to her father.
Yeah.
Any other context for Daddy is never like it. Always, maybe my mind is just broken from the internet. But any other context of Daddy is weird.
No, I specifically wrote that so that you would read that in Robotnik voice, so that people can go clip that and make that their like ringtone or something, or you get a message. It's "Make Daddy proud."
What if I'm gonna surprise you with that one of these days? The great ape leaves. Robotnik standing in a giant hole in the wall where the great ape had just bashed through. We cut to Sonic and the Freedom Fighters enjoying a picnic when suddenly, thoom, thoom, thoom. The vibrations of the great ape are causing earthquakes, ruining the Freedom Fighters' picnic. The freedom fighters look in their direction, in the direction of the sounds, and see the great ape towering above the tree line. Sally, angry that their picnic has been ruined, walks up to the machine and kicks it. The ape looks down and sees Sally. Hearts fill the eyes of the heartless machine. Love at first sight. Sonic runs up and brings Sally to safety, then runs right back to the great ape, ready to attack. Right when Sonic gets to the great ape flicks Sonic with their giant golden fingers, and he goes flying thousands of feet away. Sonic lands and quickly runs right back to attack the giant robot ape, but the giant robot ape has taken Sally and run away, and is nowhere to be found. Luckily, Tails has stashed a plane nearby for Sonic, Antoine, and himself to use. That is kind of crazy.
Like, they put it in a cave, like, right next to where the picnic was. Like, wherever they go, do they just bring the plane with them?
It's like the president's it's called the Doomsday plane.
Okay. Oh, that's always flying?
That's always flying. So right now, as we're watching this, unless this is the post-apocalypse, in which case, I'm sorry, this is what survived in terms of culture. But
the only thing that survived is the Sonic podcast.
I take it back. This is the most important thing.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But there is what is called the Doomsday plane, and there are two of them. So that when one is refueling and repairing, the other one is still flying. And it's a command and control plane where it can coordinate the nuclear capabilities of the U.S. Armed forces, and it can be where the president stays. That can also be Air Force One in the event of nuclear, the nuclear option. And it supposedly has every option of communication possible, including like teletype machine, fax in the event that certain systems are compromised. And it's a really cool thing that's just constantly in the air.
I love that because it feels very 70s. It feels like a holdover. Yeah. And like it's just like in the budget, and no one has thought to like be like, do we actually need this anymore?
But at the same time, I'm the kind of guy, I'm the kind of guy normally where it's like, what if my camera pod breaks, my camera tripod breaks? I should get another one just in case. I would like two is one and one is none. Yeah. So if you're talking about like the fate of your country in the face of nuclear apocalypse, keep the two planes running. I am all about reducing the military budget, but those planes, I'm good. Like keep that going because it's the nuclear option. Yeah, we're all right. There's a surprising amount, and I am partial to this. I am a shitty leftist when it comes to the military budget. If you were like piece by piece, no, that's a good idea. No, keep that. Like I want that to be a thing. It's like we should keep this base in Europe just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case. And that's very that makes me a shitty leftist, so I acknowledge this.
You want America to be left as long as it's got its fingers in all the pots in all the world.
It's Germany. If anything,
we have to keep an eye on them.
Keep them an eye on them. What's that one comedian?
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald, where it's like they almost won twice, and that's pretty crazy.
You know who they decided to fight? The world. I love that bit.
I love Norm Macdonald. Okay, here we go. And also like what a great place to keep airplane parts. A damp cave.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dirty cave. Okay.
For sure.
We cut to Robotnik and Snively looking for the golden ape. Robotnik grabs the binoculars and spots the ape climbing a Space Needle-esque building with Sally in hand. Once they reach the top of the needle, the golden robot points towards the sunset, gesturing to Sally to watch. Sally says, "That's so sweet of you, but I already have a boyfriend." Fellas, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna stop here just to be like, guys, friend zone. It's gonna happen. It's okay. Wasn't the time for it. Move on. Move on. I'm very big about male health. Yeah. As a Gamergate survivor,
of course,
and how like that just wrecked everyone's brain, our generation's brain, future generations as well. Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine.
I had to take that tangent.
You do what you do, man. You do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Way to just hard launch that, Sally. That's so true. I did read this like a week before you told me not to, or at least what I thought you were told me not to. But yeah, that's insane.
What? Yeah, this hard launch. Oh, I have a boyfriend. So okay, I was gonna bring this up, but since we kind of
it's like a will they won't they?
No. Is this just her trying to like bring the giant ape down softly and is like, I have a boyfriend,
right? But
like she super doesn't, or is she like, oh, I'm with Sonic?
It's up in the air, and I think the teasing, the fact that they are not DNR or not DNR. That's
do not resuscitate.
DTR. They're not DTRing, which is defining
down to resuscitate. I'm DTR, baby. If my heart stops, I want you pumping it.
No, that sounds like a Lionel Hutz joke where it's like DNR. I thought that meant down to resuscitate. Dude, that's such a good bit. I almost don't want to clip that because in the random event that I become a TV writer in 10 years, I want to keep that joke in my pocket. That's really funny. That kind of broke me. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
That is really good.
Yeah, most of my jokes are. I'm just a funny guy.
Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. Way to hard launch that, Sally. Literally the first time I'm hearing about this. Oh, sorry. They are not defining the relationship. And do you know Lupin the Third?
Of course.
Yes. I think that is my favorite anime series of all time.
It's no Gundam,
but my favorite non-mech anime.
Okay, I accept that.
They never really specify what kind of relationship Fujiko and Lupin have.
Sure.
And it fluctuates, and there's a million interpretations of Lupin, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like constantly fluctuating. But the sweet spot seems to be this point in time where I think the original creator of Lupin was like, yeah, they're not quite boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. They're just kind of man and woman having fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Sally Sonic currently relationship is. I'm sure the writers are going to take that in 50 issues to a whole new level. But
dude, I bet it's not. I bet it's like 10 issues. I bet the next issue.
I'm seeing comments. I'm seeing the commenters. I see you. And I'm seeing like, yeah, in like 5 issues, the story's going to start. I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But for now,
let's talk about a giant ape.
We cut back to Sonic and Tails standing on the wings of the biplane, with Antoine piloting said aircraft. Antoine flies directly at the great ape, with Sonic jumping off doing a spin dash towards the mechanical beast. The beast swats Sonic out of the sky. Sonic is now plunging to his death when, out of nowhere, Antoine swoops in and saves Sonic. The three freedom fighters brainstorm a solution. Antoine circles back towards the great ape. This time, Tails jumps off the plane, grabs Princess Sally, and then flies off. Sonic and Antoine are still on the plane. With Sally at a safe distance away, Sonic pulls out the Super Soaker. Sonic soaks the building in water, causes the ape to slip off, and falls to his doom. Robotnik is looking over the lifeless body, crying, "My boy, he could have been a contender." I wish that was the end of the comic. It's a silly image. It's a fun image. One that I would share with my family and friends, joking about Robotnik's latest silly attempt to take over the world in a truly non-serious manner. An image that I'd bring home to Ma, you know? You were really doing some visualizing with that one. You know what you have to do now? You have to print out that image and like show it to your mom.
No, now I gotta print out the next image.
Okay. Last issue. Oh, we're still going. Last issue, Sonic number 16, Under the Glass Dome. I truly believe we have seen the horniest image in these comics with Sally covered in white water goop. Naive? Sure, but I like to believe we can be better. I did not expect to be so heartbroken so soon. It is as explicit. Is it as explicit? I don't think so. But that is for the dear viewer to decide, not me. The last image of this panel is Tails, Sonic, and Sally. Sally being embraced by Sonic. Tails in the background saying, That gorilla sure fell for the princess in a big way. Sonic, being the horniest of chili dogs around, says, I can see why. I sort of go ape over her myself. Sally responds with the biggest fuck me eyes I have ever seen. If you thought Nala's fuck me eyes in Lion King were intense, Sally manages to say twice as much with a single frame than Nala does with the 24 frames she's given. You counted that shit?
I mean, it's just 24 frames a second.
Oh, shut up. Okay. Oh, no, then it was way more.
It's way more. It's way more.
It's like 4 seconds. It's a hard, 4 seconds on Nala.
Sometimes you write for the prose, not for the facts.
Yes, thank you. That's what's wrong with today's society. That truly is some primate penciling you've done today, Dave Manock. Keep those animalistic desires out of my Sonic drawings.
Sorry, I forgot I wrote that.
Those are some crazy fuck me eyes, though.
Dude, I know. Sorry. I should have toned down my funny. I derailed this podcast too much now.
End of Guerrilla Warfare or the Apes of Wrath Part 2. That's pretty that's incredible.
Am I wrong? Those are some pretty fucking horny, fuck me eyes.
No, I do like the face that they made right above that panel.
Oh.
Where Sonic's like, what? Huh?
The facial drawings have been getting better.
They have.
They've been more animated. I've really, really liked. Yeah. Especially, I mean, I said it earlier, but I specifically, if I was to ever make a Discord for this channel, I would go and get just screenshot all of Crab Meat's emotions and just make them stickers in the because they're all so funny and worthy of being an emote.
We completely failed to mention this last issue. This is the second issue with Sally's hair. She went from brunette to redhead.
Oh yeah.
We just did not fail. And she is very close to her standard uniform. She is missing the blue vest. I haven't read this comic, but I am familiar with the blue vest, and I think she wears that in.
I've seen the blue vest.
You know what I mean?
It's just a weird vibe you're giving off. Did you read when this came out? Publication and release?
I was probably 8 months old at the time.
No, I said read.
Yes, I did read the dates. Yes, I did read the dates.
He's funny. You know what's fucked up is that this monkey didn't really do anything.
No,
he just escaped, hung out with Sally, and then Sonic killed him.
Yeah, it's
he didn't do anything violent.
So obviously this whole thing is also a King Kong joke reference, I should say. And the story of King Kong is a tragic story. It's a tragic creature. And they actually managed to capture that in this story, but the freedom fighters don't give a shit.
No.
It's just, they treat him like a villain. And it's no, Robotnik programmed him to do that.
I don't even know if he programmed him to do that.
Yeah, what did he program him to do? What was Go back up to the Frankenstein
no. So his whole thing was, what's it?
Pavlov's dogs.
Yeah. Where you ring a bell and the dog starts salivating because it thinks it's gonna get food.
Yeah.
He said that he was gonna do that to the giant monkey. That was his whole thing.
You're right. Yeah.
And so he was trying to do that with Sonic, whereas here's a picture of Sonic. Now you eat. I assume he was doing that for weeks, and that's why he was missing for weeks. Very weird, unserious attempt at world domination from this man.
Yes, constantly.
But I respect that one.
Shout out to Antoine for doing something heroic and flying the plane.
I mean, honestly, shout out for someone other than Sonic doing something.
Yes, 1000%. I forgot to mention this 3 issues ago, where Sonic, I think they tried to portray Sonic as dumber. They've tried to portray him as dumber now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. It's like specifically that fridge joke where it's like, well, if bulbs are in refrigerator, why do they put them in refrigerators? I forget the joke, but it was really clearly dumb moment. I think to make room for others to be smart, and I think that's a good. Maybe that was an overcorrection, but I appreciate that because he can't do everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what these early comics have been, which has been like my biggest frustration is that there's a team. Mm-hmm. But it's just Sonic, and everyone else is just kind of around him.
1,000%. And at least the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog TV show, right? Mm-hmm. It's just Tails and Sonic, I believe. Occasionally, a side character will show up and they'll help them, or they'll help the duo. But it's really just Sonic and Tails. And it's like, okay, there, Sonic can do everything, and that feels better. I still don't like the show, but it at least. It makes sense that he's the only guy. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the Art McWhinney. I don't care what art you're winning. I don't care what.
I will say that is definitely like by far my favorite intro you've written.
I spent like an hour on that thing.
Too much time.
I should say half the time I was laughing at it.
Okay, well then that is reasonable.
I got your syndrome where it's like I think I'm so funny.
I mean, I'm pretty funny. That's the difference between you and me. Is you think you're funny. I am funny.
There you go. Okay, here we go. Next story. Princess Sally in First Star I See Tonight. Princess Sally's Crusade, Part 1. Script by Mike Kentertovich and Ken Penders. Penciled by Art McWhinney. Sally is sitting beneath the stars, picking a flower and asking said flower if it can tell her what she needs to know. Sally plucks a petal. He loves me. Sally plucks another petal. He loves me not. That was the last petal. Sally sighs, saying, I guess I won't find any answers tonight. She looks up to the stars and starts thinking of the past, back when things seemed less complicated, back when she didn't think about romance at all. We cut to one of Sally's memories of Sonic and Sally sitting beneath a tree, looking at the clouds, spotting shapes. Sally starts talking about how she was being groomed for leadership. Another memory, this time of King Eggcorn, holding Sally's hand. King Eggcorn, a brown squirrel, wears a red French army coat, a crown, and has a wide mustache. She's reminiscing on the past and how, almost overnight, Robotnik had taken over and spread his unique brand of tyranny across the land. Sally wishes she had a magic wand that would help wipe these troubles away. The princess cries out, Oh, father, I miss you so much. Just then, she sees a shooting star land in the foothills just north of her. She starts to investigate. We cut to Sonic, Tails, Antoine, and Rotor doing their nightly metal detecting routine when they hear the crash of the same shooting star. Everyone runs in the direction of the bang, and while running to the spot of the crash, the team meets up with Sally. Sally is worried that they are running in the wrong direction. Rotor holds up his metal detector, and it starts beeping to let them know they are going in the correct direction. Rotor finds an impact field with a metallic ball in the middle. The Freedom Fighters picks up the ball and find it odd that the ball is actually cold, not warm. Rotor asks Sally what she thinks the ball is. Sally responds, I'm not sure, Rotor, but this might well be the answer to all my wishes. The end. For now. End of First Star I See Tonight. Princess Sally's Crusade, Part 1.
These fuckers are splitting up parts.
Look at that. Actually a reason for Part 1 and Part 2.
I almost went and I was like, well, I want to know what this ball is. So I almost went to the next issue. I decided not to.
Yeah, thank you.
So I know as much as you, dear listener. My favorite thing, and I actually laughed out loud when I saw this, and it might be, I think, my favorite thing in all of these Sonic comics so far, is Rotor, Tails, Antoine, and Sonic are just hanging out in the field in the dark with a metal detector, just walking around. And I'm like, it's like midnight. What are they doing?
Yeah, the coloring betrays this, but yeah, it's pitch dark, pitch black, and they have no light source.
Yeah.
So theoretically, they are really like in the dark.
Do they show the moon? It is a full moon.
Okay, fair enough.
It is a full moon.
But why are they doing this? Yeah.
Why did they decide at this exact moment? Now we need... Dude, there might be metal out there. We gotta go find it.
Dude. Metal.
That'd be pretty metal, man, if we found some metal.
This seems like a patrol job meant for like a grunt, like a private.
Yeah, totally.
Like a small fire team that does their nightly patrol. Like that makes sense. And it's like, okay, but even then the metal detector makes sense. That's cool. So it's like, okay, we're gonna detect for any robots that are, we're probing the perimeter. But no, it's just the gang.
It's so funny. It didn't even occur to me that maybe they're using the metal detector to like detect robots nearby.
No, they're not.
But it's a normal metal detector, like the one that you hold over the ground that you see dudes at beaches with.
They're just hunting for treasure. That's it.
Low key, if I had a lot of money and I could blow it on hobbies,
You'd be metal detecting?
I would totally do metal detecting in a heartbeat.
At the beach?
Anywhere, man. Wherever we think metal could be.
The bottom of a pond and lake.
Well, honestly, that's the other hobby, magnetic fishing. I could do that. You know how many guns I would find here in the Chicago River?
1,000%. Oh my God. Any American body of water, you'll find guns.
That's true too.
How do you like the framing of this as Princess Sally's story?
I like it actually.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I think we'll start off with she's really bad at picking flowers because that first pick, that flower was full, and the second pick, all the petals were missing. No,
it's like a montage. It's supposed to show.
Okay. I know. I'm being
facetious.
I'm being a bitch. I'm being a spicy little...
The frog shows up. No, I'm kidding. That's a different
frog. I was debating whether or not I want to make a frog joke or not. I decided against it.
But no, okay. The core thing is here. We've got a backstory.
So that's what I was going to say is like, this is the first time we're actually like, even though it was like a very, very light hint, but we're like actually seeing
but
like A, what King Acorn looked like, and B, like it's just an image, but it's an image of pre Robotnik takeover, and it starts giving us more of a timeline, right? Mm-hmm. So Sally, granted, we don't have ages,
right?
But we know that Sally is 16. So given how she looks, I'm gonna say she's like 6 or 7 in these like past images.
That sounds about right.
That means I think it's implied that whenever Robotnik took over, it's around the same time as they're showing the image of Sally when she's young.
I think so too.
So Robotnik might have taken over like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. There's clearly a status quo that's been here for a while. That's more of what I want. I want to know this.
Oh yeah, I want to know what's happening.
Give me the socio-political situation of Mobius.
Yeah, 100%.
I do, but I also think it's really funny how okay, you're a kid, you wear pants. Okay, you're a teenager now, no pants.
That's her shedding the monarch, the man that was keeping everyone down.
Yeah. It's still going by that theory that these are all a bunch of. Because it's an extremely oppressed and desperate resistance group, so it's like strange bedfellows. So some of them are based anarchists who are like fuck the system, but then you've also got like a monarch and the royal guard, member of the royal guard, also, and they're just like at ease with each other. That'd be so sick, but obviously that's not the case. You got a member of the technocracy under Rotor. No, I don't.
Well, okay. Well, the other thing. I think it's really wild that, well, unless if she maybe knows what this is and she just hasn't told anyone, but she just picks up the orb and is like, this may be the answer to all my wishes. And it's like, it's just a rock you just found.
It looks like a crystal ball.
I definitely thought it was a crystal ball, but because, in fact, my original script had crystal ball on it, and then I realized that he was using the metal detector to detect it. So I was like, well, it's metallic in nature.
You're right.
But maybe I'm applying more logic than the writers did. So,
but no. So predictions. What do you think it's going to be? I think it's going to be. It's like science fiction thing that is like a probe. It's like aliens or something, and that it has like power. It's either an alien or like the product of an alien civilization that's visiting, and it's like it's gonna help Sal. It's gonna help the freedom fighters in some way.
Well, so I'm going to use context clues of... This is fun that we can actually get to do this now.
Yes.
Using context clues. It's first star I see tonight. A lot of times when you think about stars, you think about wishes. Right. When I wish upon a star.
You think it's magic?
Yes, I do think it's magic. An implication of that is it landed and it's cold instead of hot. Mm-hmm. So there's something going on here. My initial reaction is something that can see into the future.
Okay.
But because it's like wishing in nature, I think it's going to be like, hey, isn't that like Princess Sally story thing coming up soon? The mini series?
I don't know. I don't know what the latest news in Sonic World.
No, I mean, that'd be like issue.
Oh, you're right. You're right. The special?
There's like a 3 mini special thing.
I think so. You're right.
I wonder if this is a prelude to that. And I wonder if, God, I bet.
Is Ken Penders laying the seed for planting the seed for?
I don't want to use seed with Ken Penders. I think he's laying the groundwork.
Okay.
For something, based on what I know. I think it's going to be like that, or it's going to be like, hey, I can grant you a wish, and it's going to be like an alternate reality thing, and then she's going to wish for it to be back to the original reality by the end of it. That's what I...
She's not going to like it.
Yeah, she's like, well, I want. That's my Sally voice. This is why I'm not a voice actor, people.
Can you go back up to the reminiscing? Who are those characters on the side? Are those Royal Guards that are being shoved aside that are being imprisoned or...
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a dog and it looks like a groundhog or something that are in like... kind of like French Royal Navy from like the 1700s.
Okay.
Like they have that...
I'm impressed you know that uniform.
I'm pulling shit out of my ass. Okay. I don't know if that's right or not. You think I know this?
It looks more like the British Royal Guard, if anything.
No, man.
Palace Guards, except instead of black hats, it's blue.
But they have like the fucking the thing. You know? Okay, I'm just gonna type
like
in,
the Orleans.
You know more than me. French Royal. Do they even have a navy?
They have nuclear subs. Also, it's not Royal Navy. They're a republic, you know, because of that whole thing that happened in the...
Well, I meant in the
1800s.
I meant the 1800s. Like, I want to see what they looked like. Like this hat. I'm right. French Navy.
Well, that's just France in general.
That hat. This hat.
Yeah, the try something hat.
Yeah, that's what they're wearing. Look at that.
Okay, you're right. I see it. It's a little hard to see from this.
Oh yeah, a little hard to see.
It's the Captain Crunch hat.
Yeah, actually, it's the Captain Crunch hat. Duh. Why did I say that?
I do like how we flipped it here, where it's like you did the historical thing and I did the pop culture.
Well, historical in the sense that I was like, I know this is it, but I don't know what to call it in any way, shape, or form.
Oh boy. Is
there anything else we want to comment on? Princess Sally's little first adventure thing, or
I mean, it's clearly like the back part of the issue, but I am very excited for it.
You know what I'm excited for?
What?
Sonograms.
Oh, look at the guitar.
Now it's time for sonograms. You can write to sonograms. Oh yeah, it's a legally distinct sonograms. It's an unaffiliated sonograms. We made our own sonograms.
We have our very first real email.
Shit, I haven't read this one. I actually don't pre-read the email, so that's a Nick thing.
This one is from not Mike F. This is from
Speed Boom.
Hell yeah. Boom.
Hell yeah, Speed Boom. Do you want me to read it? Do you want to read it?
I'll read it.
Okay.
You I'll let your voice rest.
Thank you.
We got ourselves a doozy of an email.
Also, I didn't do like any. I made like 0 changes to Robotnik's voice. I was fine today.
Why mess with perfection?
Yeah, but like I know it's gonna come back to kick me in the ass. Okay, go.
Hello there. Oh, sorry. This is from Speed Boom. For future reference, you can put in whatever you want and we'll read it. But if there's no like specific, like, don't read this, I'll keep it vague.
You're just gonna read all of it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read, man. I'm a reader.
Okay.
Hello there. This is my first time writing into Sonicgrams. Because of that, this message will probably be somewhat longer than future ones, so bear with me. Let me introduce myself. Speed Boom's the name and Sonic's my game. Yes, it would not be inaccurate to call me a Sonic the Hedgehog superfan. I've been with this series for more than 15 years, played nearly every game, watched many of the shows, read many of the comics, and know even the most obscure lore. I've been looking for a series like this for a very long time, and let me tell you, this series does not disappoint. Oh, thank you. I love watching you two go through nearly every comic. Notice he said nearly. We got to go back and read the prequel.
We just to be clear, we've hinted at this before, but we did read the prequel episodes. I like how we constantly refer to this as like a TV show because that's our frame of reference.
Yeah.
We are not good at comics, but we did do the prequel series, which is 4 issues. But that was when we were figuring out our format. So we've done an episode for that prequel like 3 separate times, and we were just not feeling it until we figured out this format where Nick writes the episode and I read the episode. So that's
you kind of see it in the first episode of us realizing, oh, this is it. This is the format.
Actually, and actually that laugh in the intro where gotta go faster, or gotta talk faster, gotta talk fast, bum 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 bum, where Nick does that loud like laugh. You won't recognize it because that's like the prequel that we haven't released.
Oh, a little fun little Easter egg for the fans.
You were laughing at the Mel Gibson the Patriot joke.
I did upload that to TikTok.
You did, yeah. That might actually be my favorite clip, just because it's such a random ass reference.
You did really just pull it out.
Thank you.
Sorry to completely derail our very first real email.
No. I think they love it. I think they're fine with it because we love it. This is such a great email so far. Continue.
I love watching you two go through nearly every comic, and I binged all 16 episodes in less than 4 days. Which you probably know since I comment on every video. Genuinely sorry if that bothers you.
Nope.
I'll stop if you want me to.
No. Keep going.
Dude, I think people pay for the kind of engagement you're giving us.
Yeah, from a cold way of going about it, we love the engagement, but also I just like being validated for this thing that we're doing. Yeah.
Hell cool. Yeah. Nick and Dominic, you are both so likable, and entertaining. At least one of us is. You have such great chemistry, and I can't get enough of it. Anyway, not a correction.
Please
when you
correct
find
us.
out I'm actually Speed Boop. You guys are just so funny. You're both so cute. Like, I love everything about you guys.
Nick is so hot. Nick is like really funny.
Hottest. And he's so funny. Everything he says, I'm cracking up.
Anyway,
and we're never going to beat the allegations I'm Speed Boom now. Anyway, not a correction, but a note that will hopefully help moving forward. Nick has been frequently bothered by what I refer to as the goofy Pluto problem, where some animals are fully sentient and some are just regular animals.
Okay.
So dude, I'm so happy right now.
Okay.
Hell yeah. So in this world, there are 3 main types you need to look out for.
I'm down. Let's go.
Humans. Obviously, you know what those are. Characters like Robotnik, Snively, self-explanatory. Mobians.
Yeah.
The anthropomorphic. Thank you. Animal people. Sonic and all his friends, the ones who act like people.
Right.
We're going to go with Mobini.
Mobini?
I like Mobini. Mobini, more problems. That's what I always say.
I love this. I love Mobini. Holy shit.
Mobini are what you and I would consider regular animals.
Right.
They have the minds and personalities, but not the level of a human, like a dog or a cat or something. Remember the little critters you saved in the classic Sonic games? Those are Mobinis.
Like the Flickies.
Yeah.
Right. That I know. That's one of the few things I know is the Flickies.
Now,
Mobini. All right.
Now, Mobinis, if it isn't Mobini, that's too bad because it's officially Mobini for me because I think it's too funny not to say it like that. Mobini. Now, Mobini are distinctly related to Mobians, but they didn't evolve like Mobians did.
I think I said this. At some point where it's like, you know how monkeys, like we evolve from monkeys effectively. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
This isn't in any of the comics you'll read, but one of the reasons some humans like Robotnik hate animals is the lack of clarity between the different animals and their sentient levels. Okay, where can I read this? Because I want.
Yeah, what's your source, Speed Boom? Because I'm down to read it.
Robotnik suddenly makes way more sense.
Yeah, that checks out.
He's just like, the fuck are you?
He's a scientist. He's a mad scientist, but he's still a scientist, or he's trying to be. And he's like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't understand it.
He's like, everyone needs to fit in these rigid roles. And if you don't fit, I'm going to exterminate you.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you for that tidbit of information. Also, by the time I'm writing this, the first episode I'll have the chance to be featured on is episode 17, which will cover episode 16. That didn't happen like you planned, but here we are. So to give my brief thoughts on the last issue, not this one, it's what I consider to be the first great issue of the comic, specifically for the first story. While it's still goofy and filled with puns, it told a heartfelt but a bit heart-wrenching story where Robotnik cooks up a truly smart but evil plan. And Sonic actually has to make a tough choice. It's very cool to see the beginning of this series maturing.
I'm assuming, are we talking about Under the Dome?
Under the Dome.
Glass?
Which I feel like we talked pretty in depth about, but we can revisit that a little bit.
I do love the dynamic that Sonic has a family member, his only family member, that is roboticized and is enslaved to robotic. And that is a constant thing hanging over Sonic's head where it's like, I have to save him. My greatest failure is Uncle Chuck and Mutsky, and it's horrible. It's tragic, and it's a really good driving force for this character, for the protagonist.
It's a
hostage situation if you think about it.
Yeah, what I truly like about it is Sonic is someone who doesn't fail. Right? It always works out for him.
It's been 16 issues of him not failing, of always winning.
Yeah, and so I like that there's this constant reminder that he failed once.
Yeah.
And that guy is still alive, imprisoned, and he can't do anything about it for the time being.
Yeah.
I think that is a cool dynamic that they probably won't explore in a meaningful way.
No. I think that has to be one of the driving points of the later series. I forget. I'm pulling back to 20 years here, but I think that was one of the things in the Sonic TV show, the mature one, the more mature one. I don't know. I would have to go back. We would have to go back and watch it.
I mean, we will eventually. We need to have a discussion of how we're going to do that. Because I don't know. Does it even make sense putting? Well, I can't have that conversation right now.
No.
Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Sorry I wrote so much.
Nope,
Don't ever apologize for that. Hope it didn't bother you. No, dude, you're good, man. Signing off, the guy coming from Mike F's position as the biggest Gotta Talk Fast fan. I like that.
I will say, though, that because Mike F was the first write-in, he's the only guy that gets to be a co-host.
Randomly, yes.
Doesn't matter how many other emails anyone submits, you will never be invited to the show just based on emails alone. So don't try it. Thank you for the engagement. I don't know if we mentioned that for the episode.
I think we did originally, but we did 2 intros and we ended up cutting it.
I think so too.
Which is very funny.
So yeah,
we did a whole thing where the only person who ever gets this is Mike F. And we deleted it, which was a horrible thing to delete. Corrections, maybe. I've noticed...
This is also Speed Boom.
Thank you. Yes, sorry. This one is also from Speed Boom. I've noticed the last few episodes Nick has been saying only 459 left, only 460 left, 60, so forth and so forth. It's been this way ever since the first Sonicgrams episode. But the last time you said it before that, you said 566. Oops. After that, you skipped 100 and... episode 11 was suddenly 465 instead of 565 like it should have been. So he's just pointing it out.
That's a very good thing to point out. We're not 100% sure just because I did the quick math on. So we go by Bobby Schroeder's reading order.
Well, he's saying we skipped 100 episodes.
Oh shit! I don't know. What?
So we need to sit down and just look at that.
Yeah, I think we do.
There's a very real chance that I might have
deleted the first digit.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I think that was 4.
Look, at this point, it's an unfathomable amount. So.
And that was the whole point, is that it's too many.
Yeah.
But I thought there's only like 400 and something. No,
there's 500.
There's 500 and something.
I think we need to fix it.
Did you by any chance go through and take out like the Mega Man stuff?
I thought I did. That's why.
Well, maybe that's why it jumped 100. Is you took out the
my poor math, or my quick math, was to go to the very last number, which is 574, and then take out the Mega Man ones and the Sonic X ones.
Okay, so that number might actually be right then.
Okay, we should do it again, but yes, that's because those are optional. Anything in parentheses on Bobby Schroeder. So Bobby Schroeder has a Tumblr called thankskenpenders.tumblr.com /reading order, and that's the order we go in.
If you go to gottatalkfast.com, there's a link to it on our link tree.
You're correct. Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm broken, so I said I'm gonna read everything anyway.
But we're not gonna talk about it.
I mean, if it comes up in context, I'm gonna explain.
I don't know. Should we go through it then?
I am. This is a you. We can talk about this off camera.
This is rough.
But the way I see it is, if I'm gonna read every single Sonic comic,
you're gonna read.
I'm gonna read every single Sonic comic, and that means if there's a crossover with Mega Man, I'm reading Mega Man. But also, I low-key super like Mega Man.
You know what? The Mega Man. I'm down for a crossover. The issue with Sonic X is that it's a completely different line. It's a completely different series, I think.
But there's only like, what, 50 episodes?
No, there's like 50 or 40 of them. That's a lot. That's 40 weeks of our time, Nick.
Well,
that's a year.
I didn't think we would actually read the Sonic X stuff on. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should.
Okay, well,
that is like a year, isn't it?
It is 40 weeks. 40. Well, okay, maybe not weeks. We'll see what our time is, but 40 episodes. That's 40 episodes, dude. Bruh. That's why Bobby put it in parentheses.
Yeah, this is a conversation we can't have on this camera.
Well, let's ask the listeners.
They're going to say we want it all, baby. You don't get to ask the listeners when it comes to that. We need to make the hard choices.
Okay.
But please write in with what you think. Congratulations. You've read issue 17. That is the one we just read, right? Yeah. Okay. If you include the miniseries, it is technically the 21st comic you've read. Why is that significant? Well, you've said before that the order you're following is specifically Bobby Schroeder's, a wise choice. It's the one I used myself. However, if you'll notice, they divide their order up into various arcs, with the first arc being 93 to 95. The early years, they consist of 42 individual issues, so at 21, you are officially halfway through the first arc. How does it feel?
Wow, I guess I didn't realize we were halfway through that first arc. Can you go back to Bobby? Yeah.
Tales miniseries, 42.
Yeah, this is clearly the start of something big that's going to happen for Sonic, for video gaming, for campaign. We should also regularly, or occasionally, put this in the context of what's happening in the real world. So, like with Sonic, 1994, we're 2 years into the Clinton presidency. No, I'm kidding. That'd be crazy if we did today in history.
That'd be really funny if we every single release.
That's so much work.
We're not doing it.
But
it'd be really funny.
It'd be really funny. For Sonic, he's just exploding onto the scene, right? And he's a contender. He's already
big.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got
92. 92 was the first game.
91.
Holy shit. You're right. Or whatever. Yeah, I think.
Because 94, we're talking Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Where he's big. He's big. So he can't get much bigger than this right now. Knuckles is on the scene.
Yeah, you're right. I'm waiting for. It's been a while since we haven't seen Knuckles again. We'll see. But it feels good. I'm very proud of us that we've been talking about this show for years.
Yeah.
And joking about it until we were like, maybe we can actually do it. And now we're 18 episodes in. No, 17 episodes in.
Yeah.
If you count the Discord episode and the other things that we'll do in the meantime. But
I mean, we're gonna spoilers, I guess. I don't think we're gonna. Again, we need to have this conversation off mic, but we're gonna do a review of Sonic 1, 2, and the Knuckles show before Sonic 3 comes out.
The movie. You're talking about the movie.
Yeah.
The feature films that have come out in the 20s. In the 2020s, 2010s, 2020s.
And we'll do bonus episodes. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we need to. Oh my God, it's already the middle of October. We're going to have to do those sometime in November, I think.
Yeah. So when does the movie come out? Christmas?
Yeah. And I'm going to be on the East Coast. So I think that's going to have to be a Discord episode.
That's fine. I think we were planning on that, but I just think it's really funny that Christmas Day you watch Sonic 3 fight Shadow the Hedgehog.
You know what's really funny?
That's the best Christmas ever.
Christmas Day, I do actually go to the movies a lot with my mom.
You're that guy, huh?
I'm that guy.
Which I'm not.
Well, so my family celebrates Christmas Eve. So Christmas Day is super chill.
Yeah.
And like Christmas Eve is when like all the families get together. We all like cousins and stuff. We all hang out. Not so much anymore because families get too big and whatnot. But that's how it was growing up. And then Christmas Day was always like, hey, you're just going to hang out in pajamas and be real chill.
Yeah.
And maybe play with some of the toys you got. And as I got older, I wasn't really playing with toys or like needing video games anymore. So I've gone to the movies a lot with my mom on Christmas Day.
That's cool.
And yeah, I like it. I actually do really like going to the movies on Christmas Day.
Hey, Mom, there's this movie called Sonic.
So I might show my mom Sonic 3.
Dude.
We might watch a child get murdered. And she's not going to watch Sonic 1 or 2. So she's going to have zero context. Maybe I get my mom to review Sonic 3 with us. I shouldn't have said that out loud because now that I've said it, people are going to be like, yeah, that's what you should do.
Be really funny. We spent the first half hour just explaining to her what Sonic the Hedgehog is.
And she knows who Sonic is.
Does she know this? Does she watch this podcast?
No, she doesn't even know this exists. I've literally talked about this podcast in front of her with my brother, and she just kind of ignored the fact that the conversation happened, and she did not ask any follow-up questions. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to follow it up.
That's really fun. I didn't know you had a brother. That's cool.
Yeah, most people don't.
Let's go. Okay. But anyway, that's... Just bring the whole family over.
Yeah, right?
Bring your brother, your niece, I'm assuming you have a niece, right?
I've got 2 nieces.
Okay, because I know you're the one that doesn't fuck. But in terms of... Like,
that's too close. Too close. Too strong of a wound.
Oh, sorry.
What are we even talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, right. We had the email.
This is going to be a serious problem if we get when we get popular and we get like dozens of emails per episode.
Yeah, if it becomes too big, we'll do email only episodes at some point.
You're right. We did do that. We actually did do one.
Yeah, and we're not against doing that again. Yeah. So please don't stop writing in.
Yeah, just how do you feel? I'm sorry. I feel good. I feel like excited that we're actually doing this.
Oh, there was a guy who commented. He was so he's gonna watch this. I did I respond to him? I don't think I did. And he was just like, I'm watching from afar because I've been hurt too many times by people starting this journey and failing. And this is for you, person whose name I don't remember. But Dominic and I are very broken people, and we are very committed to spending 10 years of Sonic podcast.
It's so funny because we have other interests. We really do. We're not like, this isn't like, it is now kind of what our life revolves around, but
I have canceled dates, and I've definitely canceled hanging out with friends to record Sonic or write Sonic.
I drive a lot to get here.
You really do.
Like, not every time, but the frequency of which I do it, it's a lot of gas.
We need to figure out a situation where you don't have to drive as far.
Wait, hold on. What did you mean by that? We got to figure out your living situation. We have to.
I gotta get you to move closer to me. Yeah, I know you own your house, but
We gotta remortgage things. Do you feel good? How do you feel?
Early episodes, I'm like, whatever. They're not being consistent with lore and whatnot, but I feel like they don't really have a lore Bible to go off of, and they're like definitely flying by the seat of their pants.
They might be fighting with the games with the Japanese with Sega.
No, I think Sega of Japan specifically has let them do their own thing. Well, no, that's not true, because I read a thing that Ken Penders recently posted about how they like forced Sega to do that Knuckles story because Sega was like, hey, we want a Knuckles story. And he's like, done. Here's the Knuckles story. And they're like, we actually don't know if this is the direction we want to go with Knuckles. And
that's right. We did talk about that on the Knuckles episode.
Yeah. And he was like,
originally, Knuckles was supposed to talk like this, guys. Could you imagine that if instead of Idris Elba, we got who was that? I don't know. Jim Cummings going like, "Hey guys, we gotta, I gotta protect the. Hey Rouge,
what's
Hey Rouge, we gotta protect the Chaos Emerald. Give me that Chaos Emerald back, Rouge. Come on.
Why am I
Tony Soprano? Tony Soprano.
We should Bob, dude. How great would it be if Bob Hoskins, it's Bob Hoskins, right?
Yes.
Who did
Mario?
Yeah. Did Knuckles.
Just two iconic red characters in gaming.
He's red, I'll play him. And he just does the same like voice he does for Mario. Because they did like a Brooklyn thing in the Mario's movies, right? Yeah. But it seems like they're laying down the groundwork for some interesting things. I already feel like they're not. Did you notice space isn't purple anymore? It's black.
Yeah, it makes it less whimsical, less wild and wacky 90s, and more like, holy shit, the blackness, the darkness of space, the nothingness of space.
I didn't like that. I wanted it to be purple. I thought it looked really fun being purple. And that's the issue. Only 458 maybe issues. Maybe not. We like to keep you guys on the seat of your toes.
What?
I'm Nick. I stream at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus. My personal Twitter is @TheMojoSource, and my blue sky is Mojosaurus.
And I'm Dominic. You can follow my jazz adventures in Chicago @BlueCollarJazz, and my personal Twitter and blue sky is @DomGuan1.
You can follow us on socials at Gotta Talk Fast, TikTok at Gotta Talk Faster. We also have a video version of the podcast where you can follow along with panels and watch our handsome faces. You can write in the show at sonograms at gottatalkfast.com, ask us questions, provide corrections, and give us your opinion on this week's issue. And remember, when life keeps going fast,
you gotta talk fast.
Just get through it. I love you.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta Talk Fast was written by Nick Folkerts and edited by Dominic Guanzon. Intro and outro themes recorded by Dominic Guanzon. Gotta Go Fast originally composed by Norman J. Grossfeld, Joseph Garrity, and Russell Velasquez.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk. Fast. Gotta talk.